Hey, Queen Jerkifa. What's up, y'all? I'm just pinning this. Hold on. How do you pin exactly? Got it. Hi, guys. How are you? Legendary Talks here. What's up, Sydney? Right on time. What's up, guys? Legend already made. How are you doing? I am feeling good. Hope y'all are as well. Is anybody drinking? And if so, what are you drinking? Tonight we have a very special guest, Trace Lysette. I'm very excited about that. And, I also counted. So today is my 46th night in a row. Should I celebrate 46? Should I celebrate 50 or 60 60 in a row? Should I do the 50th, celebration or the 60th? I can't decide. Hey, how are you? Remember when we sat next to each other at Sheila E. and then I went on stage? It was fun. I kind of feel like I'm a little overdressed, but I don't mind at all. 50th. Okay. And why the 50th? Why not 60th? I was thinking 60. Everyone's saying 50. What are you guys up to? Anybody have any questions for me while we're waiting for Trace to join? Legendary Talks, Golden. Hey. I'm really excited to talk to Trace Lysette. She's a really cool friend of mine. She is an actress. She's an actress, and I'm really excited to talk to her. So, I'm going to try and save this to Instagram stories, IGTV. I'm sorry, tonight for the first time. As of today, they said you're going to be able to save these to Instagram stories. So we'll see if that works. Who knows? I'm a little technically challenged, as we all know. What's up, Janae Alejandro? How you feeling? I'm also on my iPhone, so I can't see anything. Yeah, so we can save them to IGTV, I think, as of today, so that should be fun. You're doing fab, Janae. I'm going to see Janae tomorrow. What's up, Hopti? At the D Nice event at 3 p.m., I think, East Coast time. I can't remember with all these East Coast, West Coast times, but I hope it works out with IGTV. Let's see. They also said the comments won't show on IGTV, which is interesting. So I hosted my Legendary Thursday last night. It was very fun. The Illustrious Blacks are on Legendary Talks also performed, and they were amazing. They're so good. I love them. What's up, guys? How y'all doing? What are you drinking, Janae? What are you drinking, Sydney? Who's drinking, guys? Oh, it's 9 p.m. Eastern. My bad. Janae's thing tomorrow is 9 p.m. Eastern. There's so many events tomorrow, I'm getting confused. But yes, tomorrow will be very fun. 9 p.m. Eastern with Janae, D-Nice, and a bunch of fun people. Come through, everyone, yes. I'll post it again for you, Janae. A little DJ called D-Nice. I'm not sure if anyone's heard of him. He's like a new DJ in the game. Just kidding. He kind of became a huge megastar on this quarantine, so good for him. He's a good friend of mine. I'm so fabulous. Cheers. Thank you. What's up, guys? What are you drinking? I can't see. Not drinking yet, unfortunately. That's kind of boring. Also, my New York friends are complaining that this is too late. I was considering changing it from 7:30 West Coast time to 7 West Coast time. Do you guys have any opinion of that, or does that make a difference to my East Coast friends? Yeah, D-Nice is an up-and-coming DJ. Not too many followers, not too much press. He hasn't not been working that much recently. Sydney said he's an up-and-coming DJ. That's really funny. Yes, please change it to 7. I might change it to 7. I talked to lots of New Yorkers today, and they were all saying it's, a little late for them, 10:30. I guess this is the new norm. New York used to stay up till 4 a.m. Now they can't stay up till 10:30, but I will adjust to the people. Janae likes 10:30. Okay. Put the kids to bed and then watch this. Yes, exactly. I'm going to figure it out. I don't know yet. And I think I might do, on Mondays, I might do Ask Me Mondays. I might just do my Legendary Talks with just myself and have people ask me questions just kind of like this. So, what's up, Tokyo Bodega? They can't be New Yorkers. They are New Yorkers, Janae, actually. So, Jibo had a great set today on, hey, Ivy. Jibo had a great set today on his IG Live. It was very 80s and amazing. Hey, Erica. Erica's set was great yesterday. Ivy, when are you spinning next? DJ Ivy. We're going to make face masks together. Wait, is Frank Roberts following this right now? Is he watching this right now? Frank Roberts? I didn't realize he followed me on Instagram. What's up, Frank Roberts? What's up, Kevin? Yes, Chibo just said thank you. Ivy has a DJ set tomorrow at 4 p.m. West Coast time. Hey, Claudine, what's up? Claudine and LL Cool J and Rock the Bells Radio are doing something really great tomorrow at 3 p.m. I think it's, I gotta check again, but it's 3 p.m. West Coast time. It's an amazing, I'm just gonna post it on my main page. It's really amazing, so. So we're waiting to talk to Trace Lysette when she joins. I can't wait to discuss some fun, amazing things. Her story's great. She's a really cool, interesting person. What's up, Nell? Oh, okay, I'm getting all those things wrong. 12 p.m. West Coast time is LL Cool J Rock the Bells thing, and it's going to be amazing. It's like an amazing situation, so I'll post it again. What's up, Nell Can? What's up, Ivy? Yep, I sent it to Erica. You saw it, right? Yeah. Janae loves Rock the Bells Radio. Thank you, Nelly. You looked amazing when I FaceTimed you today. Nelly was looking gorgeous and optimistic and was showing me New York from her apartment. I loved it. Yes, the crew's on. Trace just texted me right now that she's coming. No worries. We good. We just chilling. The outfit, yes. Frank, what are you wearing right now, Frank? Flip-flops, I'm sure. Claudine, how was your day? Claudine misses NYC. Yes, me too. My heart is with New York. I keep saying it. Yes, Hopti, same to you. Although I didn't see your face. You being on here makes me happy. Trace is joining right now. Hey, Boo, do you know how to join Instagram Live? You join, and then I accept you. If not, I can request you, but let me know what you want to do, boo-boo. Let me know what you want to do, boo-boo. I think oh, yeah, she got it. Okay. Good.
Okay.
Hi, Boo.
Hey, baby.
How you doing?
I'm good. I was trying to get this camera
I know.
situated because I knew it was going to cut me in half.
It's okay. You're looking good. You have a good angle, good lighting. Most people don't. It's so interesting. People are like, you know, this or something. They're like, hello, you can see yourself.
Yeah. How you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
Good. I feel bad I didn't find any bling for you. I was like looking and I'm like, oh God, I got to go shopping.
Okay, listen. You're you, I'm me, you know? So you're not a blingy girl anyway, you mean?
I'm really not.
You're sexy.
I did get a cocktail though. I'm going to make that.
Oh, good. You're sexy and understated. That's what I like about you. What are you drinking?
A little Captain Morgan and Coke.
Okay. Keeping it cute. Keeping it cute.
What are you drinking?
White wine.
White wine.
I'm waiting to cheers you when you're ready.
Okay, let me pour this in here. I should have done this before. I was like, didn't realize how fast 7:30 came.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't even know if you were late. You were on time, I think.
The what?
You were on time.
Oh my God, I got Coke on me. Okay. Cheers, baby.
Cheers, Boo. Love you.
Love you.
Okay, so you've seen this before. You've seen it, right? A couple times?
Yes, I have seen it. I watched Khalees
Yep.
and a couple of the DJs from New York.
Good. So basically, it's kind of a celebratory thing where I kind of talk to my cool friends about music and culture. So,
Right.
I want to have a chat with you about those type of things. Um,
Oh, Crazy Legs.
what's up, Crazy Legs? We love you. You're very supportive.
Hi, dear.
Where are you from? Where were you born?
How do I get these comments to move? Oh, okay. So I was born in Lexington, Kentucky. A lot of people don't know that.
And then you were
I
raised.
don't remember it.
Where were you raised?
I grew up in Dayton until.
That's right. That's what I thought.
Yeah, Dayton, Ohio. So Lexington born, Dayton raised. But then lived like half my life in Brooklyn and Harlem.
So when you were younger, let's say under 10, you were in Dayton, correct?
From like 5 to 18.
Okay, good. Okay. So let's say, 5, 10, 12. What was one of the first songs you remember really connecting to as like a very young person, like a 10-year-old?
As a 10-year-old, well, the first album that I got for Christmas was Paula Abdul, Forever Your Girl. Was that the name of it? Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, she was. I think she's pretty underrated. I mean, well, her career got cut short, right?
Yeah.
She was talented.
Cold Hearted Snake. I love that song.
Cold Hearted Snake. I used to watch that video before school every day. That and Vogue by Madonna.
They were kind of you're
Janet.
Right. They were like the same time, around the same time.
Yeah, Janet, Madonna, Paula Abdul, Stevie Wonder. Like my parents used to listen to Stevie Wonder, Annie Lennox.
That's a good one.
Who else? Stevie Nicks, Bonnie Raitt, Michael Jackson.
Yes. Wait,
yeah.
I just had a flashback. So how was it? I did a party with Janet Jackson about a year and a half ago, and you got to meet her. How was that for you?
Oh, it was everything.
How was she?
She was great. Like I told her a story about my teen, because I was a showgirl, like in my teens. I worked in the clubs. I had a fake ID, and I was trying to figure out ways to express myself, find my gender and all that. And, the clubs and being a showgirl and drag and I guess trans women working in the context of drag was like my intro to entertainment as a teen. And Janet was like
the queen.
She was it for me.
Yeah,
so as far as choreography, like me and my friend Charles, who I went to high school with, we were diehard fans of her. So we would like memorize her shit from her tour and then perform it in the clubs. So I told her this story about stealing her choreography from her tour, and she laughed, and we got to hug and take a picture. And
yeah.
My friend Preston, who does my makeup, sometimes does her makeup. So yeah,
love Preston.
Yeah, she's dope.
Okay, so you're in Dayton. You're growing up on things like kind of pop music of the time.
Yeah, pop, R&B.
Yeah,
some rock. Mm-hmm.
And then, when did you move to New York? How old were you?
Oh my God, I think I was 19 when I arrived.
And you came in
1920. Yeah.
You came to New York. What year is it?
So this had to be. Oh God, now I'm giving away my age.
You don't have to. You don't have to. It's fine. It's fine.
My agent's gonna kill me.
No, you don't have to. It's fine. You came and forget it. Move on.
Yeah. Okay.
Next question. So, when you got to New York, what was it like for you? Were you like, this is amazing? Have you been to New York prior?
No. I mean, well, I went to visit once and then we just moved because we were like, me and my best friend Saeed, he was like gay and Muslim and I was flaming hot queen on the block. And it was like, oh, we got to get the fuck out of here. So we ended up in Jersey City. And then for 6 months, because everybody ends up in Jersey City, right?
Of course, that makes sense.
Right. So then we ended up 6 months later. We were in Brooklyn.
Got it.
We were in Sunset Park.
Sunset Park.
And, yes, which is crazy because I used to have that album. I used to rock that album, like in junior high, I guess. listening to MC Light,
Yep.
who I met with you years later, which blew my mind because she was, I mean, that song, Keeping On, was just like on repeat. So.
Well, what's funny is also you met MC Light at my party, a different party, but like I saw you in an amazing way. You didn't fan out, but you were kind of like, you know, appreciated to the point of borderline fanning out in a really great way, in a really like, you know, it was really nice to see because, you know, you and I both are in these fabulous settings and like, you know, we're kind of like, this is cool, whatever. But you really, I saw your face light up and you were like so excited to meet her, which I thought was great. So she's awesome. But I thought was
yeah,
really
I mean, because there was just this rush of like memories of just being in my room, listening to her and like Lauryn Hill and Kim and Mary J. Blige. And she was one of those women for me, Missy Elliott, like just probably tapping into the kind of woman I knew I wanted to be, but didn't know how to get to. And so she's still one of those symbols for me.
Yeah, she's great. And she's so nice and so cool, right?
She was so chill.
Yeah.
She was so chill. Yeah.
Okay, so you're in New York, you're in
chill.
Brooklyn. You're kind of like, I'm sure your mind is probably blown in a lot of ways because New York, when you first get there, is so unbelievably amazing, right?
So amazing. So much opportunity.
Yeah, well,
like,
actually, New York, especially when you first move there, your dreams can literally come true in New York. They literally can. You mean?
Oh, yeah. I mean, okay, now this might ruffle some feathers, but native New Yorkers, what is known as native New Yorkers, people who are born there and grow up there, I don't think they quite understand what it's like to come from a small town, from nothing.
Listen, I say it all the time.
And go there and be like, no, this is it. This is me. I want this opportunity too. And then stay there for 10 years or more. To me, that is a true New Yorker. If you can go there, if you can go from nothing to something and make it in New York for more than a decade, you're a motherfucking New Yorker if anybody's a New Yorker, to me.
First of all, I say the same thing you say. I say, you know, New Yorkers, they take it for granted is what they really do because they're born there. So I would say, me, and by me, I mean you, I mean everybody, I got on a plane and moved to New York City. There's that transition.
With nothing.
Yeah, exactly. But we all know that nothing.
Right.
But there's something about that experience that makes you, I guess, maybe ambitious or and also grateful. Like you're grateful to be able to have this amazing life. Where New Yorkers, it's just where they're born, and they're like nothing against New Yorkers, obviously, but like you know, there is a difference like between people that moved there and people that live there. And I also say too, you learn everything you need to know the first year. After 1 year, you're good. I mean, that's it. You mean? Yeah,
years. I think 1 through 3 kind of are the breaking point for a lot of people. I was there over 14. Or over 14 years. So, and it's still my heart and soul. It's the city that made me. It's the city that made me the woman I am. It's, it will always be my home, my second home. So, sure.
Okay, so you got to New York. You're in Brooklyn. Your world is being rocked. What was the first club that you went to in New York? You remember being like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Oh, Damon, there were so many.
The first one, the one that you were like, oh my, this is real. These people are serious. This is real. You know, this is like an actual real lifestyle, you know?
Okay, so there's like 2 that really stick out to me, Roxy and Cheetah.
Yeah.
Which are 2 kind of different scenes, right? Like Roxy was more like meatpacking, gay. And then Cheetah was like a little more straight, hip hop.
I did the door at Cheetah. Did you know that?
You did? From what? Wait, what years?
I don't know, like in the 90s, 2000s for the Monday night party, the infamous Monday party.
I wonder. I bet you we crossed paths.
I'm sure we did.
Do you know Sky?
Who?
Sky.
I don't know, maybe. Like, who's that?
Sky. He did the door for a while too, like in the early 2000s. Oh, I saw somebody say Lotus. Yes, Lotus.
Also, I did the Sunday party there, which was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, Lotus was shit. I hung out all over there, like, oh my God, Alberts in Jersey City. Oh, you probably don't know that one. That was my first ball I went to was at Alberts. Let's see. In Brooklyn, we used to go to Sputnik's.
Yep.
Do you know Sputnik's? I actually met Erykah Badu at Sputnik's.
Amazing.
Well, she bumped into me. I didn't meet her, but
she's cool. She's nice.
Real cool. Yeah.
And then who was your first crew in New York? Like your first tribe?
my first like friend group.
Yep.
So Saeed and I moved there together, and he was, and to this day, he's like my brother. He lives in Texas, but we just we found like-minded folks in the club scene.
Yep.
A lot of whom I'm just not so tight with anymore. Until, you know, I fell into the ballroom scene.
Yeah.
Which I walked my first ball at the Roxy when it was still around. And that's where I met my father, Stanley Milan. That's where I met Jack.
Yep. Love Jack Mizrahi so much, right?
Jack Mizrahi, yeah. And all those people I'm still connected with. Like, the ballroom scene is a very tight unit.
Well, really loyal. So. Really, it's a family. It's exactly what it says.
Oh, for sure. Because my mother and I mean, I talk about this, but she and I were not, you know, we were estranged because of who I was and who I was becoming or was, and, you know, everything that was instilled in her from generations before. So it was like a rough couple of years there where I really did need that family dynamic, and that's where the ballroom scene stepped in. So
yeah, no, the ballroom, they are what they say they are. They're your father, they're your mother, they're things that, you know, they really are, you know, very loyal and tight knit that way, and amazing. Okay, so you kind of stumble into the ballroom scene, right?
Oh, Nate Wonderful's in here. Sorry, I'm seeing all these comments.
Give some shout outs if you want. Anthony.
Okay. They're like all over my face, so I have to like acknowledge them. Okay.
I'm gonna try and save this, by the way, on IGTV. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I'm gonna try it.
So, you saw that article I sent you?
Yes.
I see people doing it. Brescia Webb just did it.
Okay, so did you kind of stumble across the ballroom scene, or did you like avidly pursue it? How did that come about? So
there was like a void in my life, and besides Saeed, I didn't really have anybody. And so I had this like urge to go. I had been to a couple balls, but then we went to the Roxy one night, and I happened to fit the category, and I said, you know what? I'm going to get out there and play.
What was the category?
The category was Bush Queen Up in Drags, Bring It Like Your Favorite Pop Diva.
That's so funny.
And I was in like a Kangol and some pink mesh and like my knockoff Manolo Blahnik Tims and some cargo like capris or something.
Cute. Sounds cute.
So I was like, well, bitch, I'm going to bring it like pink. And it was pink versus like 7 Beyoncés. And I did not win, but it was a good time. And that's the night I met my father, Stanley Milan.
Amazing. Great.
Yeah.
And that was the Roxy, you said?
That was the Roxy.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you're kind of navigating New York. You're getting your bearings straight. And then did you want to be an actress then? Or when did you start kind of like having dreams of being an actress?
No, I didn't even know how to dream that big. I was bumbling around as a makeup artist, and, you know, it was really hard to have a day job back then if you were one of the girls, if you know what I mean.
Well, first of all, hold on. I want to acknowledge that. I love that you said you didn't know how to dream that big. That's amazing that you could dream bigger. I mean, I love that.
Didn't know how. Yeah. Didn't know how. Nobody. Yeah. There was no example. The only like glimmer of that for the girls was like Tracy Africa, who used to model for Clairol back in the day. But certainly no like out trans actresses. It just wasn't a thing, right?
Yeah.
So I just remember like, you know, dealing with a lot of discrimination on the job, just like stuff I won't go into, but just really painful stuff around restrooms and things, and men that I worked with that just really sexualized me and, you know, would do shit that nowadays would be a lawsuit in a heartbeat, but back then you couldn't, didn't matter, you know, like you know, that's just the way it was.
It's called paving the way for, you know, others. I mean,
right.
With dignity.
So I think one thing led to another. I lost my day job. I fell into sex work and then stripping, and that's what every girl did back in the 90s, 2000s. It was just the way of life. Somebody
It's also
showed
the
you the
norm.
ropes.
Yeah, it's also the norm. It was the norm.
Oh, please,
yeah.
Everybody. So,
yeah. It's not even,
so
yeah.
I was stripping, and I had a rock bottom moment. And a guy friend of mine, just had the conversation with me. Actually, I don't know if you know him. He used to promote in New York. His name is Karabi Fubara. He's Nigerian. He used to promote in Brooklyn and all that. But we were good friends. He's from the APT crowd, like Wednesday nights at APT.
Yeah.
Rich Medina, all that. And he was like, you have so much potential. You got to invest in yourself. And he was like the first one that really made me feel like I was special. And that sounds so like sappy, but I had attempted to take my own life, and he was there to be like, you are a diamond. Like, you gotta go for this, and you gotta invest in yourself. Like, yeah, it sucks that you're estranged from your family. Yeah, it sucks that you didn't get to go to XYZ schools, or nobody put you into actor training when you were a kid or whatever, but you have whatever you got now is what you have to deal with, and you have to take that money from swinging around the pole and do something with it. So, so I did. I started acting class in like 2007.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's around when I don't remember when we met. Do you remember?
We met at Gold Bar. I was trying to think about that before I got on the call. I was like, where did I meet Damon? I think we met at Gold Bar because I was chilling with Jay Free.
Who I love.
Yes, and I love Jay Free.
She, how was I when we first met?
You were cool. You were just like the mayor of the club scene, and I think we used to just go to Gold Bar, and then later on Marquee, because I was working around the corner at Scores for years, and I was at your birthday party when you had the white horse.
You were there?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes, I was there with Jay Free and
what was your reaction? Like, who is this bitch on the horse? Like, you're like, I'm sure you were probably. Listen, anyone that saw it, because a lot of people weren't. It's kind of a life of its own. Anyone that saw it was like their jaws. I witnessed their jaws hit the ground. I'm like, their jaws actually hit the ground. Anyone that was in that room, you mean? Because
it was crazy, and I just remember the club being so big. That was a big ass club.
I know. It was
Marquee was huge.
It was on 900 people, and the horse was big too. The horse was huge.
Yeah, but I remember Gold Bar being a good time because it was good music and it was intimate.
Yeah.
It was intimate. I loved the decor.
Yeah.
I loved Gold Bar. Is it still around?
Yeah, it's still there right now. It's one of the longest. Marquee actually and Gold Bar I think are the oldest existing clubs right now in New York. So.
Wow. But wait, were you in the APT crowd too, or no? Not really.
Here's the thing. I did Lotus on the Sunday night, and APT was kind of like the after hours after Lotus. And my personal theory has always been, at 4 a.m., go home, Damon. I don't even go nowhere at 4 a.m. I mean, so I went to APT a couple times, and like it never went well. Something always. Yeah. I was either like kissing someone I shouldn't be kissing, fighting with someone. It was always never a good thing. So I was like,
oh dear.
I knew myself well enough to be like, no, don't be going there. You mean?
I met like 2 boyfriends at APT over the course of probably 5 or 6 years.
That was very APT.
It was very APT.
Yeah, no, I kind of avoided APT like the plague, actually. Not for any reason. I just don't. I'm like, because it was the Sunday night after my party, and I was like, oh no, don't go there, Damon.
Yeah, and you were probably dead.
Well, I just was smart. I'm like, I don't want to like continue this. It's gotta, like. Tipsy and going to your next club at 4 a.m, not a good idea.
Yeah,
no. Okay, so
the warehouse. Did you ever going way back? Sorry, I'm backtracking again. But did you ever go to the warehouse in the Bronx?
Of course I did. You're talking to me.
Ooh, okay.
Well, first of all, what am I?
Or the Octagon. You have to be a certain somebody to know about the Octagon.
Yes, all that.
Yeah.
So my thing is, my second apartment in New York was on 35th and 8th Avenue. 4 blocks from Escalita. So I used to walk to Escalita as like a very young person, like an 18, 19-year-old. I was walking to Escalita. So that
I
was
have
my,
many memories of Esquilita, Stonewall Monster, the
yeah.
Hangar,
I
the
love
Village. Oh my God, the Pier, the Village. Forget it.
Escalita has a certain place in my heart for sure. That's like my,
Oh, me too.
I love that one.
Me too.
Okay, so I first remember you. I think I remember you used to go to my party at Mr. H. Do you remember that one?
Oh yeah, that was later.
So I remember you then. And
Okay.
I remember. I knew you before.
You know what it is? I feel like that's when you noticed me. Like I feel like we had been around each other, but maybe you didn't really know who Trace was or what I was about. And I felt like, oh, he sees me now.
Listen, I think you're right. I mean, like, I'm not like saying that's a good thing, but I just remember you being there, and like you're saying, like your friend. First of all, shout out to your friend who told you that you are a diamond. I don't know who that is, but that's I love that story because I remember you being at my party and kind of having this shine and brightness about you, and being like, wow, I really like her. She's so. First of all, you're very demure. Your personality is very laid back and demure, which I actually like. And then you were kind of like shining to me at the party. You had this like brightness about you, and you were just always so nice. I was like, I really like that girl. And then. I think in my head, then we were just friends at that point. I'm like, yeah, that's my friend, from that point on, right?
Yeah, I think you probably gave me your number. And I mean, at some point I stopped going out as much. But yeah, I knew that I had your number. And if I was going to go, I could text you.
So you'd come out from time to time. And at that point, you were my friend. That's in my head. I was like, oh, I really like her. And then, so you're taking acting lessons. Around that time, are you starting to actually consider yourself pursuing acting, and what's going on with your acting at that point?
No, there was a lot of start and stop with acting. I didn't book anything from 2007 to 2013 or 2012 era, like ish. There was plenty of times when I stopped taking class.
Yeah.
I was homeless for a period, not homeless, but displaced. I was couch surfing. I always had friends, but was going to move back to Ohio. Me and my mother got on better terms. She was like, if you can't do it, just, you can come on back. And by the grace of God, I stumbled across a guest spot on Law and Order and booked it. It was my first major TV audition. I had done little commercial auditions and shit like that. I shot a little indie film that showed at a festival in Times Square and never went anywhere. But this was my first legit show that I went in for.
What role did you play? What did you play?
It was a prostitute. Her name was Lila. But yeah, I mean, it's like a rite of passage. But the interesting thing is that she was not trans. And I didn't even talk about it in the audition. I was just existing in that space as an actress.
Yeah.
And so that was cool because then I thought, well, I don't have to be boxed in. I can just
absolutely
audition for whatever. And at that point, I was still stripping. So I wasn't out with my business anyways, because it would have put my life in jeopardy working in the clubs that I worked at. I worked all over New York. So for me, it was about safety, I think.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Well, street smart. Wait, let me ask you a question. Would you prefer playing trans or non-trans roles?
I don't have a preference. I just think a good role is a good role.
Yeah, just curious, people, I think it's probably different with each person, don't you think, or no?
Probably. I think most actors just connect to a really rich story. I mean, we want to have a good foundation for who this person is, what they want, what's their objective. And we want to have shit to say. We want to have strong dialogue so that we can play and put ourselves into the role, which I think that's what they teach you in acting school, is to really learn how to bring yourself to the role, which a lot of people think that, oh, it's this shell, or it's this way of talking, or it's this caricature that you have to create. And it is, but a lot of it is also already inside you. And you have to learn how to merge the two.
I would say I would be a terrible actor. I could literally only play a white guy that's into hip hop that dresses kind of very flashy. I can only play that. I could never act. I'm so not an actor or a singer.
I think you'd be surprised how much costumes and makeup can do
Help
to help you influence your character.
Yeah,
Like,
I can see that.
you know, if someone dressed you like a school teacher, I think you'd be surprised how inspired you are by like whatever cardigan sweater they give you and stuff. I think
Yeah,
you
no.
could channel. A lot of it is just dropping in and
I
just,
could see that. I just don't think I'd be good at it.
well, maybe we'll try someday.
Yeah, a little fun exercise.
Okay.
We have the time. So, okay, so your acting career is starting. You're doing the guest spot. You're still working the clubs. And what year was that? The Law and Order?
So that was probably 2013.
Got it. And then did you have any major moments in New York acting-wise before you moved to LA?
Yeah, I mean, I had booked Transparent and Blunt Talk, which is another show that I was reoccurring.
Sorry, Transparent you booked in New York.
I booked, yeah, Transparent and Blunt Talk, both reoccurring roles.
Got it.
When I lived in New York. But I remember Blunt Talk was like a local hire. And what that means is that, you know, if you don't live here, you got to figure out how to get here. So I had to fly myself out of my own pocket to LA to play this role with Patrick Stewart, which was really dope. But I just remember like that probably wouldn't happen now. Like when you level up, it's like, no, like you can get me a ticket. But
yes.
But you know, when you're earning your stripes, you have to do that.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of part of the story, part of the journey. You were focused, you were really focused, and you wanted, like you said, you could dream. You started to dream bigger, which is such a beautiful,
bigger and bigger. Yes,
so, it's beautiful to me to like kind of hear the story. I didn't, you know, and to the idea that you can dream bigger, and you started to, and as a result, you know, you kept getting guided the whole way. You know, so how did Transparent film in LA though, right?
Yeah, Transparent shot in LA. I remember. Well, so
how did you hear about it? And like, tell me about that whole like, how'd you get that role?
Well, okay, so rewind a little bit. Candace Kane was definitely one of those people that like allowed me to dream bigger because she was the first one that booked a recurring role on like a major show. And then came Laverne Cox, who I had known for I don't know how many years. Yeah. I've probably known Laverne 15 years now or something, but way before Orange is New Black. And so I remember connecting with her on the street one day, and she brought me into a special acting class that was specifically for LGBTQ people, and I had never experienced anything like that. The actor training I had always had was, you know, I was told by my teacher, who I disclosed to, like, do not talk about being trans in this class. And she was doing it to protect me, but it was like I had, you know, love scenes with guys and shit like that. And she was like, you don't need to talk about that. So it was new for me to be able to go to an LGBT class and talk about being trans. I was like, what? Yeah. And then learning how to harness all your trauma. And, you know, I do believe that trans people have this superpower. And I know that sounds cheesy, but
it doesn't. It does not. You keep saying that the things you're saying to me sound very meaningful and poignant. You keep saying, yeah, like the thing about dream bigger is amazing, and you know, superpower. Those are great. Those are like the takeaway quotes of this whole thing to me. But anyway, sorry, keep going.
Yeah, just a very unique lens to see the world, and you wouldn't know it unless you lived it. And so all of that can be brought to whatever we're doing, whatever industry you work in. So if there's any trans people watching, know that. Yeah. But so Transparent came about, and I remember just being super nervous to even audition for it because I was still dancing at Scores, which was a straight strip club. And I didn't get it right away. So I had to re-audition for a separate part. I remember flying back out for a callback. They were like, no, we're going to give it to Alexandra Billings. But would you read for this other role? When I got back in New York, I put myself on tape for the yoga teacher, Shay. And they were like, yeah, we want you. So it started off as one episode. One episode that turned into 5 seasons. So
see, that's amazing. And okay, getting back to what you're saying, because I kind of forgot that. So Candace Kane was on Nip Tuck, was it?
She was on so many things, but
Yeah.
Dirty Sexy Money
Oh,
was,
yeah, Dirty Sexy Money. And that
yeah,
was like kind of early 2000s, wasn't it? Like mid 2000s. It was kind of 2004, 5, 6.
I think you're right. Yeah. It was like early
And then
2000s.
Laverne Cox started on Orange is the New Black, and that was, I think, 2000, was it 7 or maybe 10, 8?
You, no,
Anyway,
that
so,
was, I think that was, no, that was 7 years ago. So 2013, 2012,
okay,
2013.
got it. My bad. And then what year did you get Transparent?
That same year, I
Okay,
think,
so just
2013.
just to like put it in like chronological perspective, I think Candace Cain obviously paved the way with then Laverne Cox. I think that kind of like took it to the next level.
Hmm.
Did anybody was it you mentioned Candace and Laverne? Does anybody kind of mentoring
Hey,
you?
Janelle. Sorry.
Which Janelle?
Janelle Monáe.
Oh yeah, what's up, Janelle Monáe? Was anybody kind of mentoring you? You mentioned Candace and Laverne. Did anybody kind of show you around or mentor you for real?
So in real life, like outside of the acting world, I have a trans mother. Her name is Rhonda. She lives in Columbus.
Yeah.
And so her, along with Stanley Milan from the ballroom scene, they were, there for me to just mentor me in life.
Yeah.
Is that what you meant? Or do you mean more acting?
I mean, in general, both. I think both, so.
Yeah. So I've had to pull from so many different people just to kind of figure out my way. But definitely those two were mentors for me. I think acting wise, there really was no blueprint. I mean, I had inspiration from Candace and Laverne, but nobody was going to get the money, pay for class, show up every week and do the work but me. And I had to do that for years. And that's something that I just am very proud of because it was not the norm. I mean, now we're seeing a lot of visibility with trans people in entertainment and stuff. It just was not like that. So I don't know how to like emphasize it enough that it was like this foreign thing back then. And I'm so happy that they're thriving, but I just hope people know it was not like that.
It was definitely very, very challenging. And I think that maybe I'm not sure that the youngest generation knows how hard it was. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think they do, and that's okay. They don't have, they don't have to.
Like I said, you paved the way and paid the dues for them. And like that's kind of part of it, I guess. That's how life works. I think.
Right. Somebody has to kick open the door. So I do think that we'll get more and more. I mean, we're still figuring out our place in Hollywood, and there's definitely room for all of us. So I think it's just, staying the course.
Absolutely. But even the past couple of years, I think it's advanced a lot in the past, 3 years, let's say. But again, you were really ahead of the curve, I guess. Or you were ahead of it all. But first of all, I want to shout out that guy again because he told you to dream bigger. He's the one that kind of told you to dream bigger.
Yeah.
You started taking acting classes and you stuck with it and you said you're proud of it. You should be really proud of yourself. You were you knew you were special. That's what it was. You really did. That's why you kept doing it. And I'm really glad you did that. I thought you were special when I saw you at the club. I told you. You had this light about you.
Thank you, baby.
You had like a glow about you, literally. And you're so demure and you're so like, you're not the center of attention type girl at all. You're very like, sit in the corner and observe and have fun and enjoy yourself. But you had this bright light about you. I saw it even then. So,
Thank you.
And then, okay, so you get Transparent and you film in LA, but you're still living in New York at the time, right?
Yes, I was going back and forth. I remember just being nervous as hell because even into season 2 of Transparent, I was still working in the strip clubs. And just like, oh my God, thank God the clientele at the strip clubs I worked at did not watch Transparent, honey, because it would have been some tea.
That could have been a disaster.
That could have been a disaster. But yeah.
Okay, and then, did things start happening for you? Did things change for you? Were you starting to do press? Or people kind of knowing you now from Transparent?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to the Emmys, the Golden Globes.
I remember all that.
Grammys. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy. And that, even now I have working actor friends that don't go to those shows. And to be on a critically acclaimed show was just like, wow, you know, what
Yeah.
is this? It wasn't the most heavily watched show. It still isn't, but like critically, it did very well.
Yeah.
And so, but yet I was still a guest, what we call a guest star, and you
Yeah.
make a lot less than what we call a series regular, which is like a main cast member.
Got it.
So I also remember like, well, my rent is still being paid by the strip club. So what is this Hollywood shit? And how do I make this my main gig? Because I don't get it. I don't fucking get this shit. Like I go and do these episodes and I'm like, where is the coin, bitch? This is crazy. So
listen, I think I would think the same way. I'm like, listen, I need to be paying my bills. I'm like, I need to go. Listen, I've said this a million times. Anybody that only has one job to me is a loser. They have to have several jobs, you know, to make, you know, they got to make that money. You mean like one job?
I had to figure out a side hustle. I was on an NBC pilot that would have been fucking amazing. I had a leading role on there. It was called Curse of the Fuentes Women. I played a waitress, but Sylvia Horta, who made Ugly Betty, God rest his soul, he was the creator, and NBC loved it, right up until the point where they were going to pick it up, and they were just like, we have 3 Latin shows on TV this season, and we're not going to do this one. And I was like, oh, Lord, that would have changed my life. But I took that little chunk of money from that pilot, and I cleaned out my locker at the strip club and just, like, went for it. I went to LA.
Oh, yeah, because I remember vividly, congratulations, by the way. I remember vividly when you moved to LA, I remember thinking, that's such a kind of a bold move and such a great move, and I really respected you because you did it at a time again before everybody else, and I think you did it. I could tell how serious you were about your craft when you moved to LA, and I just remember really respecting you. But like, you know, she's really, and like you said, you kind of stopped going out. I would say the last 4 or 5 years period, which is okay because you were getting serious, which I totally respected. I was like, yo, she's going for it, and I'm really happy and proud of her. So you moved to LA, and what was the culture shock, or what was the difference? You know, how were your first moments in LA?
I was bouncing around, living with friends. I was renting a room from a girlfriend of mine. It was like, I remember for the longest time staring at the palm trees, because you have to understand, I'd been living in Harlem and Brooklyn for the last 14 years. And you know what New York apartments are like, and what New York weather is like, and it's the concrete jungle. So I just remember being in awe of like the palm trees. Like, are these here year round? Like, what? Yeah. I feel like I'm on a vacation. And I remember like the hood here. I'm like, this is the hood, really? Like, this is it, sweetie? Like, no, no shade, but it was just like, it's sunny. There's palm trees. Exactly. So, I was on a high. I was like, okay, maybe I don't have to struggle like New York kind of struggle. I was so accustomed to the New York grind. Yeah. I was so accustomed to everything just being like tough and gloomy and dark and expensive.
And hard.
And
like, you know,
feels your innocence.
People yelling at you, and I get it.
People yelling at you, just trying to get from point A to point B, having to carry a knife and mace in your bag because you don't know somebody's going to try it on the subway. I just remember like being here like, okay, you know, maybe I can do this. Yeah. It was very foreign to me, but you know, I love it. For this stage of my life, I think
How many years have you been here now?
It's been about maybe 4 or more.
And then
it's flown by. I mean, I would buy a house here if I could. What
was your first big break in LA?
My first big break. Well, Transparent was still kind of going. So we were like, season 3 is when I moved out here. That's when they gave me that whole episode with Jay Duplass. That kind of like love story. But then I started getting other little guest spots like Drunk History and Midnight Texas. What else did I work on? Web series, then eventually Hustlers.
Hold on, don't just Hustlers. So Hustlers, okay, to me, you know, it's one of my favorite. I've told your story about Hustlers to several of my friends. I love that story. it's exactly what you said earlier. You dreamed bigger. So, basically the whole, throughout this whole conversation, you have been really innovative and forward in everything that you've done. And that to me is exactly what happened with Hustlers. So please explain what happened to Hustlers, and don't make it sound low key. I mean, like.
Okay. Well, I had just been around Hollywood enough to know that sometimes if you take the proper channels, which is going through your agent and stuff to get in on a certain project, it doesn't always work out. Like I remember trying so hard to get in on Pose and being from the ballroom scene and like that not really working out. And I was like, well, here's this story about a strip club in New York that I used to work at during the years that I worked there. Even if I could just work behind the camera somehow, some way.
Consult or something.
Why not? Something. So my friend Devere, who I wrote, my writing partner, Devere Rogers, he sent me an article about it and was like, bitch, they're making a movie about scores. And I was like, shut up. Like, what? And he was like, you need to be in this or help or something. And I was like, okay, I don't know what to do. So I'm just going to send out a tweet. I tweeted the article and I just tagged the director, Lorene Scafaria, and was like, this is amazing. I love that you're telling this story. Would love to help. And she DM'd me. She asked me to go to lunch. And we went to lunch and I told her old stories about the club for like an hour and a half or more. Hit it off. She's amazing. Like, she's a breath of fresh air in Hollywood. She wrote it, directed it. And a lot of this stuff was already in the script. And then she sent it to me to read. And at that point, I didn't know what was going to happen. It was just kind of like a nice exchange. And I told her, I'd love to read for one of these roles, like wherever you think I could fit in. Like, I just would love to try. And some time passed, and then she wrote me in. She wrote Tracy, which had 6 scenes. And it was just an amazing experience working with her and the all-star cast. And,
first of all, the power of Twitter. I mean, you basically Twittered her and were like, I worked at Scores during this time, like, and she did. So what was it like, and I remember when you did, I was like so happy, proud, like cheering you on the whole time. So you got to work with, you're in lots of scenes with Lizzo and Cardi B, and you're in scenes with J-Lo. So
Lizzo, Cardi B, J-Lo, Usher.
Yeah.
Constance Wu, Lily Reinhart. Yeah. It was incredible.
What was J-Lo like? You said J-Lo was amazing. You already told me, but
she was chill with me. It was dope. Like, I have watched her since In Living Color.
Yeah.
When she was a fly girl.
Yeah. And
when she was the dancer for Janet, That's the Way Love Goes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've been watching her career. I grew, kind of watched her whole way. So, we had like boyfriend talk. It was so dope. Like, I can't even explain how dope it was. Like, she was chill. She gave me a pair of glasses and some earrings when we wrapped. She just said, keep hustling, and.
Well, it's interesting because the movie seemed like you all were like, had some sisterly vibe in the movie. You could tell the chemistry from everybody seemed real. It seemed very real to me,
Oh yeah. Like Keke Palmer is a riot. Like, she and I laughed so hard because she's an improver and I am too. And like, sometimes like in that locker room scene, none of it made it into Final Cut, but we would just keep riffing off each other after the scripted lines were done. We would just kind of keep going, like cracking jokes on each other. And I hope that footage is somewhere, but it would be cool to see. We had a really good time.
I think, I'm so happy and so proud of you, but I think the moral of this story is, again, dream bigger. You saw this opportunity and you Twittered the director and she hit you back and then you ended up being in the movie, which is so amazing. So kudos to you.
Yeah, and I don't recommend that. Like, it worked. It was a wild card situation for me with a lot of I guess, a lot of truth and authenticity behind it.
Yeah.
Lorene said to me, this is the one time that anybody has ever tweeted me about a role and it worked out.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that's the way to go. I'm just saying I had nothing to lose and a lot of life experience to offer.
Awesome. That's amazing.
So to the actors watching.
I just remember too, as we're talking, we were both in Tiana Taylor's video. Just if I had a flashback right now.
Oh, Tiana Taylor's Work This Pussy.
Together. We were the only like.
We were there.
We were like the ones that were like.
It was like 6 hours.
I was there for 1 hour. I was not there long.
You were only there for an hour? I feel like it was a long day.
No, I'm like, I can only come for 1 hour. Videos are, they take a long time. It was fun. I remember hanging out with you and be like, okay, we're like we're the adult normal ones in the corner, So where's your focus now, and what would be your dream role? Let's talk about your dream role.
Okay, so I get asked this question quite often, and there really is not one dream role. There's so many. For me, a dream role is anything that is well fleshed out, that has a rich story that I can connect with. And really go to all kinds of places that I would love to show the world that I can go. Yeah. I think a lot of actors get boxed in, and I definitely feel that sometimes. I don't think people understand the amount of training that I have, the range that I have. Good. And so for me, it's just the door is wide open to experience all different kinds of stories that can humanize people. I do have like a little bit of a superhero fantasy, not gonna lie, just because I don't think I've never seen a trans woman be,
speak it into existence. I could totally see that. You mean?
Yeah, and I played sports my whole life, so the athleticism about it is just like so fun to me. But
Twitter someone from Marvel, it'll happen for you.
Yeah, but I'm just as into, if not more so into, like the really grounded work, like the guttural drama or even comedy that is just more apt to like getting like critical acclaim. Just quality work. That's what I'm interested in. It's quality work. Like for instance, like the guest spot on David Makes Man. That was some of that writing was. I mean, Terrell, who wrote Moonlight, he wrote David Makes Man. He's just so amazing. I didn't have to improv a single line. It was just that, rich characters. That's what I'm attracted to.
Well, I could also see you playing someone like, remember when Charlize Theron was in Monster? I could see you getting really and really into a role like that as well. I could see you being a superhero and like a character like that in the same year or something, so.
Yeah.
I could totally see you being a superhero. That's I hope that happens for you. That would be amazing. Like a Catwoman kind of vibe or something. I could totally see that.
Yeah, and if not me, some other trans person. I just would love to see that.
Yes, right. I think it'll happen. I think it'll happen. Hopefully for you. So, you mean? All right. So I want to ask you some music questions. Get back to music. You mean?
Okay. Yes. Let's get back to music.
Diana or Shaka?
Shaka.
Stevie or Prince?
You're going to hate me if I say Stevie, so.
I will hate you. It was his 70th birthday yesterday. I love him.
I would say Stevie.
First of all, there's no wrong answer. Salt and Pepper or Queen Latifah?
Oh, I can't. Oh, no. That's so hard.
Paula
so I will say Salt and Pepper was like the first song. That was one of the first, probably the first, even before MC Light, that I heard on the radio. It was females rapping. My sister had like this little boombox, and she had a cassette, and that was back when you taped off the radio. And I remember they said the word pissed, and that they would like bleep it, and it's like, that would be nothing nowadays, but it was a big deal. Salt and Pepper was a big deal.
So you're picking Salt and Pepper? You didn't say.
I can't pick.
It's okay. It's okay.
They're both amazing.
Janet or Paula?
Oh, why are you doing this to me? It's probably Janet.
It's fun for me.
I know it's fun for you. You're like a masochist or something, or like you like inflicting pain.
I mean, maybe. Okay.
Wait, what about you?
Well, okay, ask me what you want. First of all, ask me what you
Well,
want.
okay, I can't say Prince or Michael because I already know. Let's see. Uh, Lauryn Hill or Erykah Badu.